Michelle, as we work on the podcast, you and I got to meet and got to do some fun stuff, right? I was when we did this trip around the world, I got to meet you and your amazing crew at More Community Foundation, and the work you're doing is really worth talking about, right? It's amazing work. You're changing the world, and today we're going to get into it, right? We're really going to get into some of the parts where, if you want to make a difference, right? If you want to go make a difference, the spaces where people are scared, they're feeling like lifeless, and they're not feeling like they're part of something. I really want to talk about what More Community Foundation is doing, what you and your team is doing as you're traveling around the United States, kind of bringing awareness to the projects that you're working on. So I'm so excited to have you on.
Thank you. I mean, you said it at the beginning there. You speak about us being kind of this vessel to serve. That's what we are. Yeah. Our team, we call ourselves More Community Foundation Change Makers. We're the change makers. And our purpose is to serve. We are the vessels to serve. And that's extremely profound. So, you mentioned it. Our foundation's been around for 22 years, and we are based out of South Africa and Zimbabwe. We have 3 offices, Johannesburg, Cape Town, and Victoria Falls. And really, we are here to bring sustainable social development to our communities. We have a different word for rural. I know in the US, we talk about rural, that has a whole different meaning for you guys.
Right.
But for us, rural is, the outskirts of South Africa and Zimbabwe, the areas that aren't touched by development, and we call these areas then third world areas. If you've been to South Africa or Zimbabwe before, you'll know Johannesburg and Cape Town, they are quite first world, they're quite developed. We have amazing resources in South Africa. We have the most amazing country. So if you haven't been to us, please come visit. You will be blown away. I mean, I'm obviously extremely biased, but we do live in the most amazing, beautiful country, well worth the visit. But there is a lot of social ills, a lot of, like social injustice in our history, and we have a lot of work to do to really bring dignity to our people.
Humans have done some bad things, right? I mean, my judgment is that around the world, we humans have, we're not always got it right? We've messed a lot of things up. And but everywhere I go, I do believe that people want to do great things, right? And we're going to talk about how to do that, right? How to live a life that's impactful, and what you and your group are doing. And, as we start to get into your foundation, you guys cover a lot of ground, right? You really work a lot on humans and human dignity. And, you've got some great programs that you're out right now working on. And I love that. When I heard about these, bringing women dignity and growing communities, growing schools has always been a big passion of my families, right? Sophie and I have always worked hard on bringing, growing women and our communities. It's just really important. It's the same with our girls, right? And they want to make a difference. And you guys have found some ways to really create that impact. And you can do it in a way that's actually still fun, right? This tour, being able to be a tourist, right? To go out and see the world, see the great parks of Africa and see them, and at the same time, be of service.
Yeah, tourism with impact.
There you go, right? So talk a little bit about that. So now you guys, a group decides they want to come to Africa and do, see a tour and maybe go see the parks, right? And now they work with More Community Foundation. You guys can create some other work for them that really gives them, for us as a family. We went there to the parks and they were beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It was amazing to see. I mean, it was like on cue, the elephants and the giraffes and the lions. And look, that was amazing for my family. But I think what's more amazing was the work that we did with schools that we did there, the impact that we did. And, so let's talk a little bit about that and how to kind of mix both together.
Well, I mean, I think firstly, thank you to you and your family for the incredible impact that you guys have made. Yeah. It was hugely meaningful, for all of our beneficiaries, but especially the people that you guys, all those lives you touched that day. I mean, it was just so special. We have Mandela Day on the 18th of July in South Africa every single year. And Anthony and his family came out and joined us on Mandela Day. So, so serendipitous. And gave back and got their hands dirty. So this is one of the activities that we offer. So if you come and visit our amazing game reserves, and we have so many, please, we work with a couple of different tourism organizations, but our main partner is called More Family Collection, and they have lodges and hotels all over South Africa and Zimbabwe, and they're one of our donors and sponsors. And we we will then work in the communities that border these conservation areas. We will go into these communities and we will work with the community leaders. So we use different models, but our particular focus is that communities have their own vision for development, how they want to grow, how they want to develop. And it's not for us to come in and to push our perceptions on what development should look like, but it's to help grow their visions and help to develop their ideas. And that's really what we focus on. So we then set up strategies for all these different regions, and we develop different projects and ideas, and then we invest and we build schools, we build computer centers, we drill wells. We call them boreholes down there, but we drill wells. We then provide sanitary napkins to young girls and bring them dignity. Or we do textbooks. I mean, there's so many different projects.
Let's back up. Let's talk about the one with the women, because I think this is one
amazing.
that's, when I heard about this, I mean, these are girls who, don't have the ability to have sanitary napkins.
I mean, I'm so passionate about this topic because our girls are our future. I'm
Absolutely.
a firm believer.
Absolutely.
And we have so many social ills in South Africa, but in general, unemployment and poverty has created an environment where many of our young girls can't afford sanitary napkins. Wow. And in Zimbabwe, the communities that we work with in Zimbabwe, many of the girls haven't even heard of sanitary napkins. They don't even know what they are. They use raw material, raw resources. I mean, we hear the most horrific stories of girls using rocks and mud and leaves just to try and kind of create some dignity for themselves while they're on their period. So what we have developed is there's a lot of different organizations that are trying to bring sanitary napkins, we call them sanitary pads down south, to young girls. So what we have created with our partners is a sustainable sanitary napkin that literally is made out of recycled material and is rewashable. So the girls get a little white bucket and they get 6 of these inside and they last for up to 3 years. And the girls can then rewash them, and it brings them confidence and dignity and all the things that allow our girls to grow and develop.
So for our girls, the thought of a rewashable sanitary napkin is not, it blows their mind. Like, no way. That's gross. But in a place where the idea of giving them, look, you could go drop off sanitary napkins and drop it off there, but then when they're out, they're out. Yeah. Right? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we've done that as a family. We've done that in the past where we go in, these big heroes, we're gonna go do something great, but it doesn't sustain because the second they're out of them, now
disposable. Once off.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
And it leaves them empty and right back to that feeling of loss of dignity.
Yeah, and every single month, this is what we go through. I mean, it's a conversation we should be able to comfortably have with our children and with our women.
That's right.
I mean, a lot of men are uncomfortable having these conversations.
For sure, yes.
So a big part of this is we want families to be able to have this conversation. So girls feel safe to talk to their parents about, this is what I'm going through, or this, I felt shamed at school because this is what happened. And a lot of girls in our communities don't go to school during these weeks because they are ashamed of what's going on with their bodies. They don't have the resources to protect them. So they have an accident at school and they literally then sit at home for that week. So if you accumulate the amount of weeks that girls would miss if they literally just sat at home, it has a huge impact on our girl children. So, I mean, we're keeping girls in school, we're improving their opportunity, and we're giving them that sense of confidence that they need to excel. And we know if they're doing sport, if they're in education, if they're getting the skill set that they deserve, they can move mountains. And it's really important to us. So what we wanted to develop is not just a once-off resource. Here you go, it's disposable.
Right.
We're helping you for 1 week. Yep. We wanted to create a resource that enabled them for the next, as long as possible, something that protects them and makes them feel safe. So, I mean, I've actually got a little version of it, if you guys are interested in having it.
Yeah, for sure. So give me an idea, how does it work? So, first of all, what's the cost of it?
So, in South African rand, it is approximately 350 rand.
And what's that in US dollars?
Let's call it $25 is
for the
combined kit. And it comes with a little white tub.
Yep.
We've got 6 of these. I mean, I don't know if you can see it up there.
Yeah.
And they are foldable, so they're actually very easy to put into your pocket, take to school, and they then go into this little bag. So there's 6 of these in that white kit. And the idea for the white bucket is that, everyone will know, when you're washing your own pads, or you're washing your own nappies, this is a very uncomfortable thing to do in public.
Absolutely.
So this way, the girls can fill their little white bucket with water and soap. We also include a soap bar into the pack, and they can wash their products themselves in their own privacy, and there you go.
All right, so now for 25, this is one of the things where that little bit of change brings a woman dignity.
$25 for 3 years of comfort and dignity.
So 3 years. So if you're a little girl, if you're a girl out there and you want to find a social thing to do, imagine this. Imagine you go out and raise $250 and now there's 10 women that you've now given dignity to. And that to me is like one of those ones I love to digest, because when I look at the social things we want to work on, right, I want to make sure that we create impact at the point of the person. And two, I want to find a way that's a measurable way of doing it so that I can quantify and really go out and have a goal to go reach, right? So if that's 1,000 women I want to go support, or there's 1,000 people we want to support, what's that dollar we need to go and raise? And then how do we get that to, now we want to work on how do we get to the foundation, right? And how does the foundation get it from there out to the field where women actually experience that?
Oh, I mean, we do distribution. The nice thing about this is it's not just a once-off distribution that every month we have to keep coming back and distributing to the same girls in schools.
Right.
The nice thing about this is because it lasts so long, the product lasts so long, we can move from school to school to school and create such a big impact. You want to be an influencer. I mean, I think everyone wants to be an influencer. You want to be an influencer? Be an influencer for change and for good and for purpose. Because really, we all need to support ourselves. We need to support women. We need to support each other. This is so important as young women, as a woman. We need to look after each other. If you want to be influencer, please be an influencer for change and help promote our young girls. And all they want is to grow and to be impactful like ourselves. I mean, we are all just wanting to be servants. You know, we're wanting to make an impact. We're wanting to be successful and have families and, you know, live a life of dignity. And we should be supporting each other when doing this. So if you want to be an influencer, use your skill set, use your techniques and for good and for change. And be an MCF change maker. That's what we call our team. The MCF change makers.
More community foundation change maker. And look, that to me is where you look. Anybody can get involved. Like right now, right today, you can do it. And by the way, we're gonna put all the links down below to Michelle and her team, Michelle Scott and her team, and having all of the how to get to her. And we're going to talk a little bit about the end, how to get there. And we'll have all of that down below. And all you got to do is go down there and find a spot where, you know, get into the foundation, and in there, once we get to the your webpage, how do we get to the point where we can make donations?
Very easy, like on our website, www.morecommunityfoundation.org. I'll just throw that in. As you land on the homepage, there'll be a button on the right-hand side that says Donate. You just click on that button, it takes you straight to our page. We have 24 projects in total, but we have 6 projects that we're currently fundraising for, and this Dignity Drive is one of them. So by all means, click on that page, come donate, and make an impact. You can follow us on social media. You can see our team as they're working operationally day to day. We are people of action. We don't like sitting around. We like getting things done and being able to support as many people as possible. And if you do come to South Africa or Zimbabwe, you can come and get your hands dirty with us. So we offer these amazing experiences for our tourists and our guests and our donors and our partners and everyone. Everyone can do it. You can come get involved. You can get your hands dirty. And the idea is that you are literally coming and giving back. You know, it's all about service.
That's all. For us, it was an amazing feeling, right? To be there with the school kids, to be there and work on a school. Our family painted and worked on a school, and we found ways to give back. You know, we on Mandela Day, we actually even did a waffle program where we served waffles to all the kids, and it was a fun thing to go do. You know, we have a waffle company, so we kind of integrated our waffles into the day of giving, and we got to go, you know, meet the teachers and give back to them. And I remember that feeling. You know, we went shopping and got all kinds of cool stuff for the school. And what was amazing about that for us was, even in the shopping center, the moms of the students that were at the school, and the whole place started breaking out into a chant and a cheer. And it was like this amazing feeling of, look, they're dying to grow, right? And all they need is a chance. And foundations like this are really helping making that impact, right? You know, today, a lot of us are suffering like that feeling of low self-esteem. And in order to get self-esteem, I have to do esteemable acts. And if I can go work on something to give back, that's to me, if you're feeling bad, you're feeling down, the short line to getting happy is giving, right? To be of support to my community. In that action, I go from a taker of my life to a giver. And the truth is that it brings so much more back to my life in multiples. And I think that's a fun place to be. And you guys have made it really easy to do that. Now, I think the women with dignity, that's an easy one to go look at. I'd like to talk about some of the animals, right? So if you're also into animals, and the Black Rhino program that you're working on is another amazing program. So let's talk a little about that.
Yes, definitely. I mean, Africa, the land of wildlife, the land of conservation. We have these amazing protected areas, but we have a lot of endangered species that are really under threat. And one of them is the black rhino. So we have 5,000 left
in the whole
planet.
World. The whole world.
That's it. Including all the zoos, all the game parks. That's it.
Right. And these are beautiful, magnificent animals. I mean, when you see them in nature, they are magnificent. There's these big, giant animals with these beautiful tusks. Yeah. Now, the problem is the tusks are the horns. That's right. It's a difference.
Yes.
Right, so you remember.
Tusks are like their teeth, like your teeth.
Yeah.
Horns are like your nails, like your hair, keratin. I mean, same material.
Got it.
So tusks will be sore taking out. Your horn, you won't feel things. It's like cutting your nails.
Got it. So talk a little bit about that. So the horns are used or sold to in an Asian market. Is that kind of primary way to go?
I think the whole world knows we have a serious poaching problem in Africa.
Yeah.
Focused on elephant and rhino. Rhino specifically, people come and poach these beautiful animals to take their horns and sell their horns overseas in different markets.
So they literally get the rhino, they cut its face off.
I mean, they shoot them. Actually, I mean, it's really barbaric. These beautiful animals are shot. I mean, hopefully, we can only hope that the animal dies very quickly and is painless. But these poachers will then come in and remove every inch of horn, which means cutting deep into the face to get the bottom of that horn. And they will then export these horns into all sorts of countries across Asia, and they're used for traditional medicine. They're used for, all sorts of different practices. I won't go through the list. We can send you some more information. There's more information on our website. But it really is brutal. And the number of poaching incidents that are happening are increasing year on year. So we are losing so many rhino and elephant in Africa. But our focus at the moment is black rhino because it's a critically endangered species. We have so few left. And we have a black rhino project up in northern Zimbabwe on a beautiful little reserve called Victoria Falls Private Game Reserve. And we have a really healthy population there. They have a high breeding rate. And we then grow numbers in this little reserve and then repopulate into greater national parks. So that's our purpose for this little reserve. Cool. And we have an amazing team of anti-poaching patrol guys. We have an anti-poaching team. We have an amazing reserve manager there, and they put their lives on the line every single day to look after these rhinos.
So I saw videos of them. Yeah. So these are guys who literally are patrolling the parks at night, all day, all night. With guns, they're looking for poachers. These are people who are getting attacked during the.
They are. Their lives are
at
jeopardy.
risk. I mean, these poachers are bad people.
And they will shoot the rangers. They will shoot the rangers to get to the rhino. I mean, there's no question. There's no sense of human life versus animal life. No. They will shoot anyone that is standing in their way. And these anti-poaching teams, our teams literally follow the rhino. We have guys that are following the rhino, checking the rhino, obviously checking fence lines. They have all sorts of patrolling and security methodology. But they are putting their own bodies and lives on the line to protect these rhino. So as a part of state management of these black rhino, we dehorn every single individual.
So this is something that blew me away. So in order to get them to stop getting killed, right? So you're literally like cutting the fingernails or cutting the horn off, right? And by doing that, it demotivates the poachers.
There's less for them to come in, so they'll move on to another area. It's really complex, but we've definitely seen in different reserves that it does reduce the amount of incidents that are happening, and we're very lucky that it's better protected our rhino, and we did the dehorning of all of our rhino this previous July, and it was quite serendipitous that on the last day of dehorning was World Ranger Day, and our rangers at the end of it were just full of emotion and tears because they were able to go out that evening with a pressure that had been released off of their shoulders. You know, they felt that they were safe at patrolling because the rhino horns were off of these rhino. And we do it in a very safe environment. We have vets that come out, the rhinos are darted, they put under, you know, so it really is under really safe circumstances.
So you were part of doing one of these?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it is the most humbling experience. I mean, I studied conservation. I've been a part of many of these experiences. But for me to see this incredible animal and this endangered animal, to be a part of something where we're protecting them for the future, for our children to see them and experience them. And every single species on our planet is part of an ecosystem. We can't just take one species out. They form this holistic ecological structure. And for me to be a part of something that's just so impactful, and to be a part of fundraising for it and making this impact and making this happen, it was overwhelming. I mean, I was teary almost at every single rhino because I felt, it was incredible. So if there's ever an opportunity that, you know, we do translocate, we do dehorn, we have to dehorn every 3 years, that we can continue the process. And we do offer a Get Your Hands Dirty experience where you can join us and do one of these amazing experiences. And it is a lifetime experience. It's something you will never forget. I will never forget those 3 days that I spent with the ranging team and getting to be a part of it. It was just immensely profound for me.
Well, I think that's true of all of what you guys do there. You know, your programs, the stuff that you're doing. Look, like for my family, you're being with Mavis and the school and being there with her and feeling the love. This is a woman who came from a brutal background, right? I mean, she came from a very tough background, and she told us her story in the background, and then what she's doing in the community to save kids from that brutal background, right? Yeah. What she's doing to give back there. If we gave a little bit, if maybe we made her day easy for a bit, right? To look at what she's doing and what you're doing to support that school every day, and just to be part of any of these things, look, for us, is a truly life-changing experience for my children and I, for the community. And you look, at the end, sometimes life is overwhelming, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm spitting in the wind, right? I just want to help. I look at the end, that's all we want to do. Look, I live a pretty decent life. And if we can find a way to give back that's impactful and it makes the difference, it's a no-brainer.
You know, Anthony, a lot of people ask me, but it's a drop. Like there's so much to do. So many people that need help, you know, like it's just too overwhelming for people. They, you know, where do they begin? And they feel like they can't make an impact. If every single one of us was helping another human being, the world would be a different place.
Every day.
You know, and so if it seems overwhelming, if it feels like you can't do enough, you know, that your impact isn't going to be enough, I promise you it is not true. If every single one of us was giving back and helping another human being or giving someone opportunity or saving a species, I promise you the impact of all of us making a difference will change the way the world works. It will change the way that we appreciate each other, that we provide kindness and compassion. I'm a firm believer that we all have a role to play, and you may feel like you're not going to make a difference. I promise you will. And people will change the way that they perceive each other when we are kinder to each other and more compassionate to each other. So we all have a role to play. You all have a role to play, I promise you.
Getting into the more the community foundation change maker group is an easy way to jump in and get involved. And so we're gonna do. Let's go back to the website again. So the website www.morecommunityfoundation.org. We'll definitely kind of pop it at the bottom there, but morecommunityfoundation.org. Okay, and we have all the contact information there. If they want to get a hold of you and your email address,
I'm on there.
All right, your email address is on there as well?
Big time.
Perfect. We'll make sure that we have all that on there down below. And look, change makers, look, let's have everyone from Future Factory become a change maker. Right now, take a second, go to the foundation, sign up to do one thing. If we can just bring girls dignity, right? Imagine what that'd be like if you just gave $25. And I'm you got $25. I got $25 to go. To buy Starbucks. Like today, if instead of buying Starbucks today, I donate $25 to make a difference. Imagine what that feels like, and literally you're giving a woman dignity for 3 years, right? And that to me seems like an easy no-brainer for all of us to jump in and get involved with right now. Do that now. You know, look at Future Factory. Our whole goal is to always be impactful. right? How do we make a life that's worth living? Examining what we do every day and finding those places where it's an easy change. It's okay to be uncomfortable, right? It's okay to feel awkward. I don't know what to do all the time either, right? But I know that when I find a group like Michelle's group, right, I know that there's a spot where I can take a second and just step through my frustration, step through my fear, give $25, and maybe next week it's $50, and maybe it's getting a couple friends to do it, right? It becomes addictive. This supporting other people, and the truth is, it changes my life, right? When I become a giver rather than a taker, that feels pretty damn fulfilling. So I'd like to make sure we do that. Michelle, Scott, and your group, everything you're doing is amazing. I'm honored to have you here on Future Factory. We'll make sure that we get lots and lots of attention to this. We're grateful. And please, folks, please take a second and share this on your social media. Look, we got to get this word out to as many people as possible. And it's easy. So here, you can be an influencer. Remember, to be an influencer, to do...
No, I mean, literally, we want you to be an influencer for impact. Be an influencer for change. Be an influencer for purpose.
Thank you. As always, thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard today, please like and subscribe. It means the world to me, the team, and everybody in the background that puts us together. Michelle, Scott, we are grateful for you and your community. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.